Standard 3, Curricular Content Knowledge, generally relates to the educator's ability to advance learning through both general and specialized curricula. To understand the activities, strategies, and topics related to this curriculum, one must first understand the course itself. This freshman social studies class is called World Civilizations and is an honors level course. This means that the students have qualified for the course based on entrance test scores and experience a more fast-paced and challenging curriculum than that of the regular college prep level. The purpose of this course is to teach significant events and skills related to world history, such as document analysis and evidence-based writing, while also preparing students for future AP courses by using AP rubrics and assessment measures. The course covers history from all over the world, albeit mostly Europe, by starting with the earliest humans and ending with the age of exchange and discovery in order to provide a seamless flow into next year's U.S. history course. The 5 photographs on this slide demonstrate a project students completed as part of the curriculum. The unit of study was classical civilization, meaning ancient Greece and ancient Rome. The topic of study was culture in these classical civilizations. Here, students chose a topic and then created a visual representation of that aspect of culture based around 10 images of their choice. This involved preliminary research into the topic itself prior to choosing the 10 images. In addition, students had a written component on the back of the poster in which they provided descriptions of the images themselves and how they relate to today's world. Project 1 is on architecture, Project 2 is on history, Project 3 is on religion, Project 4 is on philosophy, and Project 5 is on art. Students were given much independence in creating their project and were able to dig deeper into the content on their own terms. The images on this slide demonstrate a project that students completed outside of the classroom. The unit of study was also classical civilization, and the topic of study was Roman government. Here, students created a campaign poster for a Roman emperor of their choice. Students were to research the emperor and come up with specific points they could use to promote their candidate on the campaign poster. Students then voted on which candidate they would choose as their emperor. This allowed students to again study a topic of their choice and to dig deeper into content in a way that has real-world applications. The worksheet questions shown on this slide are questions that correspond with the scholarly article written by Dr. Zachariah Matthews on the Golden Age of Islam. The questions are examples of tiered questions designed for higher-level thinking. Questions 1, 3, 4, and 5 ask for simple identification and recall of information from the article. Question 2 asks students to rank the importance of factors named in the article. Questions 6 and 7 require students to summarize aspects of the article in their own words according to their understanding. Questions 8 and 9 require students to think critically about the content, to make connections with other regions during that time period and within today's world. These leveled questions allow for deeper understanding and higher levels of thinking about curricular content stemming from a complex text. The evidence I have provided relates to Standard 3 because all 3 of the slides show a use of Common Core standards in conjunction with curricula designed specifically for students with gifts and talents. The Common Core standards we use are those that fall under the category of English Language Arts related to history and social studies for grades 9 and 10. These standards revolve mainly around analyzing texts to determine meaning from them and then assessing evidence. We also use those that fall under the category of English Language Arts related to writing in grades 9 through 10, namely writing arguments focused on discipline-specific content. The project on classical culture requires students to use both sets of standards to complete a fairly open-ended task in which they decide what evidence they will use and how to present it, giving them a choice in how they show mastery of this self-selected topic. It also requires students to engage in in-depth learning by digging into their topic and into specific related aspects in order to show mastery of curricular content. Finally, it relates to multiple disciplines of study as it incorporates math, science, religion, art, philosophy, literature, and architecture or engineering, depending on your project topic. The Roman Emperor campaign posters use both sets of standards by requiring students to research a specific self-selected emperor in order to understand their personality traits and past actions. In doing so, students learn more depth of content than we would traditionally spend time on in class, and present it in a manner that has real-world applications. This also helps develop their argumentative writing skills in a different setting by persuading the audience to vote for their candidate. The Golden Age of Islam questions use the standards by requiring students to analyze a scholarly article to determine meaning and answer leveled questions that are designed for thinking about curricular content at higher levels. In creating the artifacts and evidence for Standard 3, I have been able to reflect upon my teaching and student learning to notice several important things. First, when students engage in individual research on a topic that they have chosen, they enjoy completing the project more than they would had it been assigned, as they are more interested and feel a sense of freedom in their choice. This leads to the creation of better products, especially when we, as teachers, are able to break from what we specifically expect the project to be and allow them to express their creativity to show their own mastery of performance. All of these factors combined allow for students to learn the curricular content much better. By using multiple disciplines like science, art, and literature within the social studies content, students learn more depth of content by digging deeper into more advanced aspects of history. By leveling questions related to higher levels of thinking, students are also able to reach more depth of curricular content and also achieve higher because of the kinds of thinking these questions require. Finally, I realized that the Common Core standards really are a true guide for the course. I try to make most learning in my course student-centered and focused on their needs, and in completing this artifact, I have realized that this really aligns with and even goes beyond the Common Core standards set for 9th and 10th grade social studies students.